Alright, welcome back to another stream. Hopefully today is the day where I actually get a full run completed. We're not gonna be messing around, we're not gonna be testing out stamina. Just trying to complete a run. Hopefully it's a good one. My goal is low 40s. Maybe that's too optimistic. Maybe like 45 minutes or below, I think is a good time I'd like to get. I have a decent amount of new strategies that I didn't even show in the last stream that I've only come up with today. So I've been looking around to try to find a better way to get a karma flower. I guess we should just get started right away. Yep. I'm using fast rolls still, but nothing else. No other mods other than like the ones that I usually have for speedruns. So yeah, I was trying to find ways to get a vulture mask a lot more consistently. Because we can get a vulture mask by fighting a vulture, of course, but it's very random. A vulture might not show up. Maybe too many vultures show up, making it difficult to get one. Or maybe a king vulture shows up instead of a regular vulture, making it much more difficult to get. There's just so many things that you have to account for that are completely random. And that's something that I don't want to do in a speedrun because, of course, there's always going to be like risky strategies that have the chance of being faster. Like ideally, right after the shaded industrial gate, a vulture shows up and we immediately, in like a single spear throw, we get a mask and we keep going. That's the ideal situation. But unfortunately, a vulture isn't always going to show up when we want it to. It might be a king vulture, or it might just take way too long to show up, which is the likely case. Or like we can't even fight it correctly because it might run away before we kill it, or it might it might just take a long time to fight. Or maybe you just don't find any spears. There's so many other like random factors. So I wanted to find a way. I really need to get a rock right there. But there is a way to craft a vulture mask, and that is the strategy that I'll be using for this run. The recipe is a vulture grub and a karma flower. So I'm making use of the vulture grubs that are next to the shelter that's right at the start of chimney canopy after industrial. I need to do that. So the moment we get the chimney canopy, or actually, instead of karma caching in industrial, we still karma cache for a bit, but we only go up to karma level 3, and then we shelter and well, as in just me, and I haven't even done a run with it yet. Oh gosh, scavengers. I want to slide under him, but come on, man. So stay in the shelter, or grab a vulture grub, so that way we can have it for after we exit out of the game, and we come back after getting the pebbles. Don't. Okay, this isn't great. Okay, they're gonna be distracted by the lizard. That lantern, you're not launched. Oh man, why are there so many scavengers? And luckily, right along the route. Okay. Right along the route in chimney canopy, there's a karma flower right there. And it's not actually that hard to craft because since we're crafting a vulture mask, it's immediately gonna scare away any lizards that get in our way. It's not as easy the other way around. After seeing pebbles, you have to go quite a ways through industrial before you can actually get the mask, because there's not any karma flowers that are like right on the route like the one in chimney canopy is. I should really do this differently. But we still can craft it before getting to outskirts, which helps a bit. Just helps throughout the rest of the run, so might as well make it as early as possible. I should have picked up that rock. It's always a place where you can use it, and I never have a rock when I get there. Let's try this. Okay, let's not do that. I think that this corridor here is like a bit wider than the other ones later in the run, so the timing is off. Probably just worth it to practice one timing to get better at it. Excuse me. And I can see why I never have a rock in this section, because these aren't really platforms where it's likely for a rock to spawn, except for I guess a spear just spawned right there, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Oh, if I jumped there, I would have kept the momentum going. Put that bat fly. Sorry about that. Actually, I probably should have eaten that bat fly. But you do need food. Since you were staying in a shelter without karma catching, you need a little bit of extra food. But luckily, there's plenty of food around that area. There's blue fruit that you can get, and the vulture grubs, of course, so you can make a meal out of that. It's decent for food. I didn't think that these lantern mice would be a problem. Kind of got in the way. Okay, maybe that wasn't great. I wanted to run out of stamina here. Make sure that I had enough for that jump and that I wouldn't get tired, but I guess I had a bit more stamina than I thought I did. Okay. For some reason, this pink lizard always likes to fall down right there. Every single time I come up through this room. Luckily, there's no scavengers, though. That was actually kind of ideal place to run out of stamina. So I could immediately just stay on that platform and then jump back over. Oh man, that wasn't great. Ideally, you just roll across that whole thing, but it's a little bit random whether you are able to roll or not. Also, I found that doing this charge bounce here isn't really bad for keeping speed. I might as well do that now. No point in trying to evade this lizard when it could result in my death. When I have an easy way to deal with it right there. I mean, it was pretty lucky that there just happened to be a spear right there. Usually you do a extended slide here, but I didn't get lucky with the rock spawn. Now we have to climb up this whole room, which takes like quite a long time. Not the fastest that I've ever done industrial, but I guess it still works. I'm not too worried about optimizing the early parts of the run. I just really want to get the vulture mask very efficiently and get the later half of the run done a lot better. There's still a lot to improve there. Especially looking at, oh, I forgot the split. But looking at the splits here, like, I got to the end in 58 minutes, but I've almost done a whole run in like 40 something minutes, so I don't want to risk it. Although if there's other scavengers in the room, they might not like that I did that. I mean, they definitely won't like it, but luckily you don't really deal with too many scavengers in this run. Luckily there's no one else here, but that could have been dangerous potentially. Luck, like what you want to do in that scenario is to jump on that platform after doing the extended jump. Oh, actually, I need a spear right now. There's no spear in this room. I think I want to go back for this one. We might just lose the time save that the spear will give me, but whatever. It's more consistent. So this alternate strategy I have for industrial, I don't know if it's any faster. I think it's a little bit faster, but it's definitely safer. You're less likely to run into a lot of lizards and vultures. Why can't I do this? Hello? There we go. I want to make sure that I'm full on stamina here. There we go. Oh, is that a lizard over there? Thought I saw the pipe flash. It's just a bat fly. But there we go. See, we made it to the shelter without even running into. Like, we ran into a single green lizard and that was it. As opposed to the swarm of lizards that you run into taking the other route, or vultures, or scavengers. Although I have seen a sand lizard when doing this. Unfortunately, the strategy means that we don't stay in the shelter. We stay in the chimney shelter, which means that when we work back from pebbles, we aren't as far in through industrial. I guess it's like it only takes like a certain amount of time to get back down to this point. And I guess you do save a little bit of time by not having to karma cache another time, but I don't know. I think this is just an open opportunity for someone to steal the record. If I do get a record with this run. If you want to improve this time, go for the vulture strategy, although good luck. Oh. I didn't think there were two lizards here. Oh wow. Expert evasion. Now that the lizard noticed. I'm actually going to drop that down. Whoops. We want one of these fruit. I'm climbed up to that little bit right there without running out of stamina, and I don't know what I did differently. So we get to chimney a little bit earlier, but that doesn't really mean anything because we're gonna also spend the extra time to shelter in chimney again. This isn't going to be as good as the ideal situation with just fighting a vulture, but it's going to be way better than any run that isn't lucky with the vultures. Because in many of my attempts in the previous streams have resulted in waiting around for a vulture to show up. Or dying to a vulture. Because it was like multiple showed up, or it was a king vulture. You know, there's so many problems that can happen. I like that this strategy kind of avoids most of them. It's also super easy to kill the vulture grubs. You don't even need to bring a spear with you. So make sure to hold on to at least one of them, and you have enough food to shelter. This does mean that we need to get more food later for sheltering and filtration system. Like, there's so many downsides to this strategy, but I think it's worth it for now. Or maybe it's just because I'm bad at fighting vultures. like if I could like consistently defeat a vulture, that's just like part of the strategy, then I guess I wouldn't have to bother with this whole thing. There we go. There's the mask. Now we don't need to worry about lizards ever again. Well, until after Pebbles, of course. That's funny. I think that lizard saw that I went into this pipe and was ready to grab me, but then they saw the vulture mask, which is something that you actually notice in when you have the hunted burden on in expeditions. I didn't want to fall down here or down there, whatever. Since creatures know your location, they will try to go to the room you're in, expecting to find a meal, but then they only are scared away if you have a vulture mask, of course. Excuse me. Now that's the real vulture that you need to be worried about. Oh man, got tired there. Something that we learned from the last stream, having a look at the way the Gourmand stamina worked, you really want to avoid jumping as much as possible. Even if jumping would save like a little bit of time, like by getting up a pole a bit faster, or by just like little speed ups that you can get by doing jumps, I think that they end up not being worth it because they lose so much stamina that you're going to lose the time later when you have to recover your stamina. So by never jumping, well, not never, obviously. That's hard to avoid. Oh, great. Okay, I saw that king vulture, but okay, there they are. This might really suck. Oh, nice aim, dude. But this is not great because vultures can predict where you're gonna end up after going through a pipe. So they're pretty good at following you. Although, immediately, nope, they didn't lose interest. See, they're kind of predicting where I'm going to end up by, like, already aiming. This might be the only chance I get. Oh, wow. Well, that is unfortunate time loss. But we're still moving. Of course, there's another king vulture. I was expecting to see another one. Well, here they are. Okay, this really sucks. All of this. What is up with this? Usually, if a vulture does show up, you can just keep moving forward fast enough for it to not be a problem. But there's multiple. I think I can. I'm surprised I didn't run out of stamina there. Okay, this king vulture is threatening me. Except it's like, okay, that sucks. All that sucked, but I guess we'll keep going with it. I guess that's an opportunity to improve in the future, but I'd like to. I don't want to have to get 2 good runs this stream. So hopefully, I mean, if I do finish this one, hopefully I can get another one done before the end of the stream. Just to get a time done, because I don't want to do another Gourmand stream. I'd like to move on to Artificer. Right, that after all the time we spent trying to optimize this route and like improve at Gourmand, I'm only just now starting the phase of the speedrun where I'm actually doing attempts. Which means that there's still so much to improve at in terms of execution of the run through its entirety. I'm surprised at how much height that I lose by doing that jump there. I don't know why sometimes you just miss that entirely. So I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time. Be careful about grabbing that spear there. When you are exhausted, you have very little aerial drift, which means that it's hard to change directions in midair. So I did a pounce to the left, trying to fall down to grab that spear. It was in the same position. I didn't need to recover there. But the pounce just like, I couldn't move backwards to go into the area where the spear was, because I was already moving forward too fast. Oh, great. Try to do a roll there. Here's another area where it's invaluable to have a vulture mask. Just being able to ignore all of these lizards. I mean, this area is possible without a vulture mask. Sometimes the lizards can be in a spot where you can just throw a single rock at them to make them fall down. You can clear them out pretty easily. It's especially problematic as Gourmand when the moment you run out of stamina, you can pretty much stop like everything that you're doing. I'm surprised that this guy just bit me. Oh, I know what happened. They saw me earlier. They ran up there to hide, and then so when I came back, they were no longer scared of me. The timer ran out. If I'm released, this is still fine. It doesn't matter that I lose the mask because you only need it for these last few rooms anyway. So blue lizard, save me. Oh, he's after him. Oh, but whenever a lizard is chasing another lizard, the pursuer is always so slow about it. Like, what is that white lizard doing? You don't need to charge up a whole attack. You can just bite. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get saved unless there's another white lizard here. But I think that was the white lizard that we just passed. Unfortunate. This is what the stream is gonna be. A whole lot of resetting like that. It was kind of stupid to just run straight back into the lizard after it bit me, because that told me enough that this lizard was no longer scared by the vulture mask. But I didn't really want to try to like look around for something to attack the lizard with. You know, it would have been hard to stop them from chasing me. Oh, great. That was wonderful. I picked up 2 fruit and I thought one of them was a rock, so I threw it away. I knew that was gonna happen, but I was just hoping it wouldn't. You get pushed very slightly to the side and you end up grabbing onto the pole. That did not speed me up at all. I'm not really happy with the start of this. Something kind of funny about this little opening image that you see at the start of the run is that it might be misinterpreted as like this is what opening cutscenes look like for all characters now. Because if you're playing Downpour for the first time and you're expecting like maybe like an opening animation, kind of like what the survivor sees when starting a run, then you're going to be disappointed to be like, what? It's just this one image. That's all we get for the new characters. But no, every character has their own unique thing going on, which I like. I do like that part of Downpour. It gives every slug guy kind of a more unique feeling when starting a run. Survivor already has the whole opening cutscene. That was a full line of bat flies. Survivor has the opening cutscene. Hunter just starts with gameplay. You just go right into it. Gourmand gets the little image, as well as like the dreams when staying in shelters. Artificer, they also have gameplay, but it's like really important little bit of gameplay that shows you Gourmand or Artificer's abilities. You get to see the explosive jump, but you also see them fighting with scavengers, so you already kind of get an idea of what you're supposed to be doing as Artificer. As Rivulet, it doesn't really actually do anything. Oh wow, that's the kind of time save that you want to get. Rivulet is also gameplay, but it also just kind of throws you into. I think what's best about Rivulet's start is that they have to go to a large body of water to keep going, which means that you pretty much get an idea that you can breathe underwater for a decent amount of time. Although I think there's text that just says like, oh, this is an aquatic slug cap, but I guess it's nice to also show you in gameplay. Sorry about that. I can't help it, man. Rolling is fast. If you're in the way, you just have to. Oh, I don't like that lizard. Hey, I'm a slug cat you want to eat. Got him. Probably the last thing this lizard would expect me to be flying across the room like that. Who was this there? Spearmaster starts in a gate, which I think is funny. I think that gate connects. Where does that connect to? Yeah, Outer Expanse. It's the same gate that Survivor goes through before you start playing. So you're kind of wondering where that connected to, but it also gives like slight justification, no, explanation for the start of Survivor, since you end up in the same starting position as Survivor. So it's like, oh, Survivor also went through this gate. And you can later go and explore Outer Expanse to find it yourself. And Saint is really important because you get to see kind of a look at like what the main objective is as Saint, because it shows you the max karma symbol. And you say in a shelter, you notice that you have very low karma, so then it's like immediately established that the goal is to try to get your karma back by meeting the echoes, which is important that it's established that early on, because echoes are like the main like point of the Saints campaign. I knew that was gonna happen. I feel like that was all pretty good though. Pretty good movement. We're in this room at only 4 minutes. Oh, and of course the start of Saint immediately tells you that this campaign is going to be different than the rest of the game. That was good. I mean, most of that time save was just from the extended jumps across a few of those long rooms. So as long as I can do those consistently, then I'll get this first split a lot faster. Because I also had to wait for that one pink lizard. Also, minor time loss there. Are there scavengers in this room? Surprised I didn't... Well, I'm not surprised at all. I messed that up. That's all there is to it. I'm surprised I hit them. I'm also surprised that they're not dead. Like, that was a ton of damage. Well, it's not that surprising. It's a green lizard. Of course it's fine. Remember that I want a spear here. I asked for spears in the game. Game delivers. Oh, I probably can't do this when I'm tired. I guess I'd be faster if I didn't grab onto the pole at the end. I just want to be safe. Man. Okay, that sucks. And the spear's over there, so I have to grab another spear. And the green lizard is here. Oh, great. Well, that's unfortunate. I tried to practice this area enough to be consistent at it, but it's still possible to mess it up. I don't even know what I did, though. Why did I mess that up? Oh, come on. Why is this jump like so easy sometimes and impossible other times? It's already not great, so I have to... There we go. Like, you have magnet hands sometimes. Okay. Let's not mess this up a second time. And there's a lizard over there, of course. They're scared of me? Hello? That was so risky. Wow, I feel like the soul split's gonna be... I'm immediately gonna lose the time I saved in industrial. Well, like 17 seconds, so of course. And I'd say that's like the biggest problem with this alternate little route to industrial. Even though it's faster and usually safer when it comes to lizards, if you mess it up, you lose a ton of time because you have to climb all the way back up and grab another spear. I thought that was a white lizard in the background. So yeah, lost a lot of time here. It's really... I don't know. I never know if I should continue runs if I make a big mistake like that, because if I get a full run after this, then that's gonna be the world record. Maybe it will be. I don't know if anyone else has done a run that I'm not aware of. But if it's world record, then it's gonna be pretty disappointing. Like, oh wow, they really messed up in the beginning there. So I'm just gonna be motivated to do another run, and then I have to play Gourmand more. And I've definitely enjoyed Gourmand more after actually understanding their mechanics better. But I'd probably prefer other characters still. We'll see when we get to other characters how the experience is, but you know, I don't want to spend forever on Gourmand. Also, I'm wondering if there's going to be a second lizard up here. There isn't. I don't know why I saw a pink lizard that one time. I think that there's a chance that a creature does not spawn. Maybe it's like a lineage thing. It's like a random chance that a creature just doesn't show up. Kind of like how centipedes can have kind of random sizes. So yeah, Not great time save. I think this saved like, this was a 230 minus 230 split. So there goes like 35 seconds. It would have been 17 seconds faster than that. Because of the industrial split, so that's unfortunate, but I kind of do still want to complete a run. Even if I mess up, just having the splits there to compare against is nice. Oh, I didn't bring a fruit. Shoot, I don't have enough food. Okay, you know what? No. That's too much at that point. I thought I picked up. Did I eat? No. What happened? Did I eat the fruit when I wasn't supposed to? I ate the fruit at the shelter. Do you remember not to do that? That sucks too. Maybe that was another time save that I got. Doing the jump here. Can be kind of annoying to craft this stuff when there's other items lying around. Like that spear kind of got in the way. It's not that big of a deal. You know what? I'm grabbing this rock. Sometimes I'd never find a rock throughout the next few rooms. Kind of worried that the lantern mice would push me off the edge there. Whoa. Okay, that still worked out. Wasn't too bad. Why are you here? There we go. That's the time save. Pretty that just one little technique saves so much time. If you find the right places to use it. I'm going to eat this when I run out of stamina next. Oh, I thought I ran out of stamina there. I did the extra jump. Oh, no rock here. Okay, and then I missed the pole. Oh, that was great timing. There's usually a drop wig here, as other characters, but not as Gourmand, which I really appreciate. Also, I've heard a lot of people talk about Gourmand. They say that it's nice that they have... I don't know if they said it was nice, but they mentioned that they have hunter spawns. I thought that was strange, because I never think of hunters or Gourmand as having hunter spawns. Oh, sorry about that. I've always kind of saw it as like a mix of survivor and hunter. It's a little in between. Like, there's no sand lizards in the wall, but there's also king vultures. But I also think there's definitely too many king vultures. Like, the little, like, the kind of in-between survivor and hunter, I think is fine, but there's too many king vultures. Like it feels like 50% chance that you'll get a king vulture over a normal vulture. I think it should be like 20, or you know, maybe no king vultures at all. That'd be kind of nice. And maybe you could still craft a king vulture mask by combining like a regular vulture mask with something, I don't know, maybe like a karma flower, so that like you don't have access to king vulture masks, but if you can take advantage of Gourmand's crafting mechanics, then you will be able to. Even though I got the extended jump, I still lost time at other places, so this wasn't as good. But as long as I don't mess up elsewhere, it'll be fine. I forgot to get the lantern again. I always think of gates as like times to just like take a little break, but sometimes there's something that you have to do in the gate and I forget. I think that was actually kind of still nice, because I had a little bit of time to recover stamina before doing that jump. Of course, I still run out immediately because you lose like half of your stamina during that jump. So can I make this jump first try? No, of course not. Maybe just need to spend a bit of time building up speed. Okay, let's not mess this jump up. This is like the most important jump right now. Okay, that's all I have to do. As well as avoid any of those that I might run into this next little bit. Who would you grab a fruit here? So I have time to eat it in the shelter. Oh, that's really good motivation to not mess up that jump. I dislike that I now have to go through this little tunnel here. One of my least favorite parts of industrial, because if a lizard shows up, you're just dead. Well, I guess I already ate a bat fly earlier, so I didn't really need this, but I guess this is an alternative. You can pick up a fruit there if you don't have, if you're not full on food. Messing up later. I might have just made that lizard angry and more likely to chase me, but I guess it was fine. So I'm gonna pick up this fruit anyway, just to get into the habit of always grabbing it. Oh, split. Well, slightly inaccurate split, whatever. Well, that's good. I'm definitely getting better at that. No, I don't need a spear. Oh, just missed the plug. Grub. Don't eat that one. We're actually starting off a bit better here. Last time we were here, we lost a lot of time to a vulture attacker on the end, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Vultures like that are the kind of creatures that make me wish that Rain World was slightly more consistent. Like if there's a hard rule where a vulture cannot show up within the first like 15 seconds of entering a room. Which of course is not a thing that Rain World would do. They like to have mechanics that aren't centered around the player at all. So Vulture shows up whenever Vulture wants to. But it makes it really inconsistent when you're going to a region and you don't know if you're safe from vultures ever, because one might show up at any moment. Especially in a long room where you don't have any way to defend against them. Like that last room in Chimney Canopy. Excuse me. Kind of wanted to do a slide into that lizard to knock it off, but I could have also dismissed and slid off the edge there. Also, unfortunately, you can't craft a King Vulture Mask, as nice it would be to have at least a small chance to randomly get a King Vulture Mask. You know that you're pretty much completely safe from lizards at that point. I don't like that these lizards are running away in the direction that I'm going. Yeah, run away more. Thank you. Well, I guess another thing I should mention about the incident last run. I think that lizard shouldn't. There's a timer on like after a vulture sees you with or a lizard sees you with a vulture mask on. There's a timer until they realize that you're not a vulture and they start attacking you once again. I think that timer should only tick down when they're in line of sight with you. Because it's like it gives them enough time to like look at you and realize that you're not a vulture. So otherwise it's kind of strange if they see you for like half a second. And then like 20 seconds later they're like, oh, that wasn't a vulture. Like as far as they know, they just saw a vulture and they tried to run away. So they're still expecting to see a vulture. So I don't think it makes sense for them to realize later when they're not even seeing you. Oh, come on. Still save time. There's no vulture here. I still hear threat music though. Or maybe not. I guess we're just going without recovering because I have to stand still for this gate anyway. Okay, there we go. That was better. Still have to be careful about lizards though. I always end up getting stuck on that block there when trying to roll across, so might as well just jump over it. Oh, I didn't do stamina there. I was expecting to after doing wall jumps. I guess we also learned that in this room you don't really lose that much stamina, so I don't need to worry too much about not jumping ever. Until this point. So I want to throw that rock there just so that this lizard wouldn't run away in the direction that I'm heading. So I don't run into it later. That's not a great place for a dropper to be. I guess if it's a little bit further to the left, it would be dangerous. Luckily, that's not the case. Hope it's possible to make this jump. It is. Okay, that saves a bit of time. Poor Gourmand here has to be exhausted for quite a long time. Okay, it's good that I made that jump. Now we recover. Doesn't even matter how long you are exhausted for, or how much stuff that you do while you're exhausted, you still recover within the same amount of time. Because we learned that the stamina does not ever go below 0. And when you hit 0, you run out of stamina completely. Or you become exhausted, so you can't become more exhausted after that point. So I want to get on the other side of these lizards as fast as possible. Okay, that worked out. As long as they don't run away into this room, where they would be a problem like last time. Maybe this is just a problem with fast rolls, but I feel like there's been a lot of situations where I don't roll up things that I would be expecting to roll up. Always has to have a rock here. Super nice to have a vulture mask in this room, because these long tunnels might have white lizards in them, which you can't do anything about, but if you have a vulture mask, they just run away. It's not a problem. Like right here, where there's these things in the foreground that are kind of blocking the tunnel. If a white lizard is right there, you can't see them at all. So like nice backflip I just did somehow. And then that's for this area, it's fine to just keep going at low stamina because you're gonna do wall jumps anyway. I need a spear. I take the gamble. I see spear up there. It's not a gamble. That's good. There's another spear here. Sometimes there's areas in the game where there's a guaranteed spear spawn because they intend you to use spears for platforming. But this area isn't exactly intended for you to go up, so no spears for you. Of course, you got quite a lot of time for there to be a random spear that you get. But if you forget to bring one, if you forget to grab one down there, then you might not have it for up here. Like there's no spears in this room, and there's a decent chance that that's the case. Ooh, I grabbed on. Okay, let's recover first. Not as fast as crouching, but still fine. I don't know how to do that consistently where you grab onto the pole. Usually I have to find a way to jump back up to it. Also, mask no longer useful. This is gonna be a really good split. Seven minutes. Wow. It's always nice to be confident and with your time. Like that felt like I was gonna get a good time, and I did. Sometimes you think that you got a good time, but then you thought wrong. Maybe you forgot about some mistake that you made. So luckily this one was good. Of course, we're not done yet. Alright, don't do anything here because the low gravity might send you off. Oh, no. Oh, no. Throwing that spear was a risk. Ah, I shouldn't have jumped. That's unfortunate. Okay, we got here eventually. We got here eventually. I really don't know why this movement is so finicky. They should just put a pole here and you just grab onto the pole and that's it. Oh, come on. Especially for, like, considering that this was supposed to be the path that ancients took to get the iterators to talk to them. I guess they were like, I just, like, play around in zero gravity, yeah. The most awkward world record. I don't know. We still got here in a decent amount of time. But that is unfortunate. My strategy is usually to, like, ride along the left wall and jump after a short delay, and that usually lines you up. But I guess I drifted slightly to the right where I couldn't jump off of the wall. And then at that point, I don't really have a consistent strategy for getting to the pipe. Because if you have one strategy and it works 90% of the time, then it's going to work 90% of the time. But the other 10%, you're not going to know what to do. You know what? I'm grabbing this guy. And my goal wasn't to have, like, to get perfect runs. I just want to have a decent run for every downpour slug cat. So a few mistakes here and there, I'm not too worried about. Because it's probably someone else who's going to really optimize the run and get world record. A good world record that they can actually be confident about. I'm not confident about this lizard though. So these two rooms are a lot more difficult with this strategy because you don't have a vulture mask, so you just have to hope that they aren't a problem. I really want this red lizard to see me. There we go. Okay, I didn't want you to do this, man. That green lizard is always a problem. You can see that we're already losing time on the next split because usually I would be closer to outskirts. So I didn't really save 7 minutes. And of course, it's also because of the. Okay, I didn't even have enough speed, but I also grabbed onto the pole. I don't exist. It's all in your head. Hello? Okay, that lizard moved too quickly. Here's the other time loss. I have to go up here. I mean, I say time loss. They're not really time losses if they're just part of the strategy, but just compared to my other strategies, this is where they aren't that much faster. And I still don't even know if it's worth to have a Vulture Mask for this bit. But I think that it really helps, and it's definitely more consistent. It's not too fast to make it all the way back, or it's not too slow. Nice wall pounce. So there we go, only 5 minutes. Probably like 6 minutes if I didn't mess around in pebbles for too long. I don't know what my splits. This is why I would like to have a good splits to compare against, because I don't know if 5 minutes is good or bad. But now I don't have to worry about the lizards in this. Okay. The one lizard that doesn't care about the vulture masks has to be the one that shows up. See that little like block there that I got that stopped my roll? I don't think it would have stopped a normal roll, but it does stop a fast roll. Do you think that since you can start a fast roll from a much smaller jump, that you would also be able to maintain a fast roll with less effort? Please don't. I'm just trying to get out of here. Okay. Oh, I guess since you're also carrying the vulture mask, you can't carry 2 fruits with you to this gate. Oh great. Oh, gate, haha. That doesn't even work. I guess I did save time in getting to this gate. So I need to, well, that's not too bad. I can just eat a few fruits before the gate infiltration. I wanted to jump there. I think that green lizards aren't scared by vulture masks, but they won't attack you for a short time when they say that you have a vulture mask. Instead of run away, they just are just kind of I don't know. Well, that's wonderful. That's a strategy that I practiced for this room, but I didn't even do it. I almost destroyed that lizard. Why am I holding onto a spear? Can't risk dropping it because I might drop the vulture mask. I can't throw it because it would be bad for stamina. So I just have the spear now. I'll have to find a rock for the extended slides later. I've never considered just wall jumping all the way up instead of grabbing that pole. But it is faster doing that. The most important tip I have for this room is that you can do a tunnel boost out of that pipe. Right at the bottom of the screen, exiting that pipe right there. You can do a boost and you can swim across that last bit of water a lot faster without any cost of your... without risking like running out of breath. Okay, drop the spear there. Now I'll cover it here. Took fall damage here last time. Could drop the Vulture Mask if I did that again. Thought to be more careful. Okay, that was the fastest I've ever done the drainage segment. I don't even know if I did anything differently. I guess I might have done the wall jumping bit faster. Don't need this rock. Now we eat these fruit here. And we should never need to shelter for the rest of the run. I was supposed to eat this fruit. I guess if I had enough food to shelter, then I didn't need to eat it. So I don't know why I felt like I had to eat it after sheltering. Not too big of a deal. No mole in this room. That's good. Oh, I forgot the lantern. No. Okay. We're fighting. Oh, why am I tired now? Okay, they're distracted. That's an unfortunate time loss and the consequence of not having a lantern in this area. I don't know what I'm doing. Luckily, there's a way to climb up right here, so. That's convenient. It's not that big of a deal if you go through the bottom tunnel instead of the top one. They're still like decently fast, but if there's a wall in the way, there's definitely a better option. Also, nice time to avoid that blue lizard. Don't need the lantern. Although this is usually the last area where you run into scavengers, and I do not have good scavenger reputation. I don't think I do. So this might be where I die. Hopefully not. The centipede's in the way. Okay. Spider. Dude, you want to just grab that centipede. You were trying to kill it like 2 seconds ago. Okay. Unfortunate time loss, but part of the strategy of staying in the earlier shelter at the start of the region instead of the one right there is because there's that centipede has more time to move out of the way. I guess you still didn't feel like it. Also, last time I was here, I ran into a red centipede. That was a lot of fun. I'm also going to have to figure out how to craft a grapple worm quickly while holding on to a vulture mask. So hopefully that's not too problematic. And luckily there's no lizard here, although it wouldn't be a problem anyway, because I have the mask. Those are some long-range worm grass. The salamander here will also not be a problem. Luckily the spears were here so that I can get past the monster kelp. Ooh, scavenger. Don't be mad at me. I gave you a spear. We're cool. We're cool. I thought my scavenger reputation might be pretty bad, but it's not that much of a problem. Not too hard to just drop the mask for a second to craft that. Now we need a gooey duck. I'm probably going to get the one a little bit later. That was a pretty fast way to move through that room. Oh, now I'm tired. I don't like the sound that I heard over here. It's just a small one. Or I guess it's even higher up in the room. That's good. Yeah, sometimes speedruns can be quite annoying sometimes if you're failing a lot and you're just restarting over and over again. You're failing to execute the strategies that you had planned out, and lizards and other creatures to get in the way randomly. You can forget the fact that actually just playing the game and running through as fast as you can with all these strategies and movement tech, it's actually fun. When everything is going smoothly, like there's a reason I'm still speedrunning this game. That's okay, that was a spider. I thought that it might be a dropwig. Stowaway, I don't know. I don't like that it's in the way, but luckily spiders are not very aggressive. Maybe it's because this area isn't like that dark. It's usually I think maybe the aggressiveness of spiders depends on how dark the area is. So if you're holding onto a lantern, they are kind of scared by you. But if it's like pitch black in like Shaded Citadel, then they are very confident with attacking you. Or maybe there's just a random chance that they don't bother at all. Kind of stuff can be determined by creature's personality. I don't even know if that's the case for spiders. I grab it onto that guy. I don't need to go over here. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, no. Okay, that's good. I didn't mean to do that, but it worked. So I'm glad. Oh, okay, lizard. Do you mind moving out of the way? A nice lag spike for a second after grabbing onto that lizard. Also going to have to do this jump here that I always mess up at. Too late. Or too early. Using the grapple worm. Really? I'm surprised. Do we think that Gourmand? Okay. So you just do the old strat. If it works, it works. I guess that's I guess maybe that I might have just been unlucky there, because the chance that you spear a wall is kind of random depending on distance. But I thought that Gourmand would throw a spear so fast that it is guaranteed. Or maybe that's just a wall that you can't spear at all. Okay, that was close. A lot of noodles here. A bit crowded, I think. I don't like the lag spikes I'm getting right now. I don't like the spacing I had on that jump. That was better. Okay. kind of considered having a split just for Outer Expanse, because getting to the end is like such a long split that maybe it makes sense to split it into two parts. Ooh, that's okay. No, I have the Vulture Mask. I don't have to worry. At least I don't think these lizards I think these lizards are affected by Vulture Masks. This is where I died last run. Great blue lizard. I don't like that they grabbed there. Tried to bite me. That's good movement for that room. Fortunately, this room I don't really have good movement for, because if you jump from too high up, something happens and usually the grapple worm dies. Just do a roll across this room. It's a great place for an extended slide, but I don't want to drop either of the items I'm holding. I can actually make use of the grapple worm while I'm exhausted. Oh man, that scavenger was not in a great position, but it wasn't a problem. Another room you can roll across. Oh man, that was close. That might have been a problem with the worm grass though. Oh, I didn't know you could fall into that. This is good to know. So apparently there's a way to skip this route that I'm about to take. I usually go down here, but apparently there's a way to skip into going to the left path, which I think will be faster, so. But I've yet to learn it, so I can't make use of it in this run. Yeah, that's an improvement to be made in future attempts. If I want to go back to this category. But I guess just having like a decent amount of practice like this means that I'm also in a position to try out new strategies when other people figure them out. Ship sensitive jumping around in the water like this drains stamina. Or something that I haven't really tested that much is if it's any faster to use a yeek in this area for movement. Sometimes I just pick up a yeek because why not, but maybe if it actually helps out the run a lot, there's a good reason to do it consistently. Or to find out like a consistent movement using a yeek. Oh, there's a dead grapple worm. Yeah, that just kind of happens sometimes. Not that big of a problem. The rest of this run is pretty. You don't need the grapple worm. And let me just jump over that lizard real quick. There is a centipede. The centipede. And I'm worried about it. I jumped too early. Come on, man. Okay. Luckily that wasn't too bad for stamina. I'm worried about the centipede. I know that there was a strategy to craft a spore puff earlier and keep it in your stomach for this centipede. But I forgot to do that, so maybe that's a mistake back then. Oh goodness. Yep, it was a mistake. Man, I don't even get to save this time. But I would like to finish this run. Hold up, I'm going to look at my other speedruns. I'd like to see how long it takes to get from here to the end, and then I'll wait that long before ending the splits. just so that I have something to compare against. Do I even have a full run I can look at? Okay, it adds about 2 minutes. Well, I don't remember what time I was at. 2 minutes added to... Okay. Wow, minus 12 minutes. Unfortunately, this is not the run. I'll have to restart. But I have good splits to compare against now. Even if that's not the actual run that I got, so... And now I'll remember to make a Spore Puff, because yes, dealing with that centipede is difficult. Although I don't know if it if you're grabbed by a centipede and you throw a Spore Puff at it, if that will release you. Because I know that it takes a little while for them to die to it. And now we're back here. That spider up there running all over the place. Come on. No. I can improve that. I mean, even if I did get a successful run, I probably would have had to keep going, because... Keep going. It's, Okay, well, that wasn't great, but... It's better. There's still, like, plenty of time left in the stream. I don't want to end that early. Probably the fastest I've done this little starting section. All the food was in a nice spot to grab quickly. And there's a rock right there. But now I'm not just going to save 2 minutes for free. I actually have to work for a good time save. Also, wasn't that the run where I messed up that jump with the spear? Spears for a boost. If that was the run, then that's like a big spot to improve, as well as what happened in Pebbles. So, you know, I guess this now is the opportunity to fix those mistakes. Why I didn't grab onto the pole there? Still lag spikes, man. I don't know how to fix that. Or if it's just how Rainworld is. Deal with the lag spikes. I hope it's not. Okay, that was just about as bad as it could have gone. I guess the rest of the time saved. Maybe I shouldn't worry about the speedrun too much. Just like play the game, focus on that. I remember that for some of my Revisited speedruns, or for one of them at least, I just like, I closed the timer and I didn't look at it. It's still running and I was still like doing splits. But I didn't look at it. And I think that might have been the run where I got the world record. I don't remember specifically. On one run that I did that was really good, I didn't look at the timer the whole time. I think that actually did help out. Oh, sorry about that. I mean, not sorry, because you'd have gotten my way otherwise. Hello? Still not consistent at that. Just a charge bounce there. Yo, are they pushing me up? Rat strats? I can't carry this fruit. And to throw boosts. Or do an extended slide. I think I just hit the fruit. Sometimes it is nice to have parts of the run like this where you just have some time to relax for a bit. Okay, exactly 5 minutes. Swallow this. And remember to actually use it in filtration. That was another time loss, falling down into the mole pit. I'm very surprised I didn't die to that, actually, on that run. Vulture? No. I don't know what that was. Hey, and there's a rock and a spear right here. So let's not mess up this jump. Okay, that was super risky. I don't even have a mask yet. Okay, we'll just keep going. I still don't really know if it's ever faster to just try to... Oh, how... Oh, wait, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Screen lizard is gonna come over here now. Why are there so many lizards here? This was the point of this route, that you're avoiding all the lizards. Okay, and I'm still not recovered? Okay, as long as we can make the jump right now. Okay, I feared that I wasn't holding the spear in the right hand, but I was. So that worked out. Grab a fruit here. White lizard in the way. Or not in the way? No, in the way, in the way. Not in the way. I'm still exhausted. Was there another lizard over there? Oh, no. I'm dead. Wait, did he grab onto a rock instead? Rock save? For some reason, that lizard's tongue didn't go out all the way. Okay, well, that probably just lost as much time as I would have gained from doing the jump first try, but at least I did mess up the jump afterwards. You just can't ever hope for a perfect run until you're going for a super optimized world record. Which is not the goal here. That's someone else's opportunity. Probably not a good idea to lose all my stamina here, but I still recovered fine. Okay, blue lizard / possibility of pink lizard. Please don't be a problem. What if they just get stuck in their den like that? So I guess I don't have to deal with them. Don't know why they do that though. I guess they forgot about me. Hey, I didn't. The last jump, of course, is what makes me exhausted. Okay. Well, still saved a minor amount of time. I guess I'll make a meal. Yeah, it's still good to try to get as much food as I can. Just have to eat less later in filtration. It's crazy that we plan out like going to filtration from Chimney Canopy before even heading up to Pebbles. Again, my actions right now are going to impact how I do filtration system. Ooh, I didn't do that wall jump at the end, but that was still a time save. So eat this. Nope, don't do that. Nope. I don't know if like a partially eaten creature can still be used as for crafting. I think it still can. I don't know why eating something would make it no longer count as that thing for crafting. No lizard in this room, please. Okay, we're good. And I'd be like so early in the cycle that no lizard has time to get into this room. I guess maybe if there's one of those pink lizards wanted to go over here. Wow. Okay. The game thought that I was having it too easy and said, here's like 5 lizards right on your face. Right before you're about to get to the end. It's like a developer is watching right now and they spawn those lizards in just to mess with me. Oh, that's just me messing with me. Hello, welcome to the stream. Get out of the way, please. Thank you. Well, I kind of hit him with the rock to get him out of the way, but I should have recovered there. Now the lizard might see me and start the timer early. Excuse me. There's so many lizards in this area that it's like so worthwhile to get the mask. Well, now I have to wait a bit to recover. I'm not a fan of that pink lizard, and now the white lizard is aggressive now. Okay, it's good that they moved out of the way. Now will the vulture show up right here and mess with me? Rich Gourmand player. I don't like that third music. Unfortunate. Hopefully it's not a king vulture at least. I don't see any lasers. Okay, just a regular vulture. As long as I can get up here quickly enough. Goodbye. Okay. Well, I guess this still works out fine. Now we're losing time, unfortunately. Both because of the lizards and that vulture. There's more time to save later. This is pretty bad though. I'm probably gonna lose like a minute. Especially if another vulture... Just don't look this way at all. I guess they're not really interested. Thought that there was a chance that they might come back for me. Yeah, that's minus a minute, fortunately. Well, I could have tried to find a better way to deal with that vulture, but it just takes a long time to go back and forth between the pipes, and the vulture's always going to be tracking you pretty quickly. And of course, I can't climb poles very fast either. Either climb the pole normally and very slowly, try to fast pole climb and have the chance of becoming exhausted and climbing way slower. A mistake. Nope. Okay, that was a mistake there. Should have recovered on the floor instead of in this tunnel. Hello, dropper. And you remember that I can use jumps there without sacrificing too much stamina. Climbing through tunnels is very stamina efficient. In fact, you don't lose anything at all. At least I don't think you do. Unless you're already tired, in which case you can't recover while you're going through tunnels. Like, as long as you're moving, you're not going to recover from being tired. Why did I jump like that? Oh, great. That sucks. No, I'm gonna risk it. I didn't see it long enough to know if there's a spear up there. There's not. Okay. Well, this just kind of keeps getting worse. Which ending am I going for? Just the regular story ending. That's what story percent means for any character. Just the intentional routes through that character's campaign. For Gourmand, that means going to Outer Expanse. It does not require getting the completing the food quest. That's its own category. Okay, I feel like I lost another minute there. I don't know if I can ever get that time save back from later in the run. Just a lizard right there. I didn't even see him. I don't know if I've ever seen a white lizard all the way over there. But I think is that the other ending that Gourmand can get, which is by going to the Void Sea like normal. You can actually do it a lot faster by using a Singularity to kill the Guardians. I think that's going to be the any percent route. You can pretty easily craft a Singularity Bomb in Industrial, I think. Okay, I think I might die to this lizard. I hate when that happens. I mean, I wasn't really happy with that run anyway. But if you're in that tunnel and there's a lizard, you're just dead. And even with the Vulture Mask, if they're scared like that, because I think it was about to rain, then they just kill you when they're walking by. That's the start that I wanted to get. It's funny how those sounds kind of overlap weirdly. I want to have a lantern. So wondering, like, why is it so dark in this area? Because I usually craft a lantern earlier. Well, I didn't want to do it that far, but I guess that still works out. Still better than messing up earlier. Okay, I don't know why this pole is really hard to grab onto. Ooh, that was very close. I would like to grab a rock at some point, too. That makes this whole area fast. And now this whole area is very slow. Not only did I drop that lantern, but I did not do the very fast movement. It's unfortunate. You just don't have a rock. I didn't need to eat that, but I thought that I might as well while I was recovering, but recovered earlier than I thought I would, so it even helped. Just add on to the list of lantern mice I've accidentally killed. And it's not really accidentally, because I know that I'm gonna kill them. And I could easily avoid it, but it would slow me down, so. Especially in terms of my stamina, because I'd have to jump over them. Whoa! Can actually go too fast there. I don't like that I don't see a lizard here. Well, I'll see them in the next screen transition. And there they are. And the lizard immediately backs up. It knows that it can catch you on the other side. Not if you're fast about it, though. There we go. That's nice to get. I think I did that last run. But all that movement was quite slow. Try to do a better boost out of that. I don't like when that happens. If you slide and you try to enter a pipe, you're moving so quickly that you go down into it, but you hit a wall and get stunned for a bit. Ah, got tired from rolling. That means my stamina was really low. So you barely lose any stamina from rolling. It's kind of nice that I didn't really get a great industrial run on that run that I did complete. Well, asterisk. Because it can be a little demoralizing when you have a really good run, but where you mess up at the end, because it means that you're always comparing against splits that are really good. You think like, oh wow, I didn't match my perfect splits that one time, that means this is a bad run. Of course, that's not the case. If you just got really lucky that one time, or if you pulled up a bunch of really hard techniques that you aren't usually able to do, then you're gonna expect you're gonna always be able to do that. Which I guess if you're going for a perfect time, not perfect, but like world record level time, you're gonna want to match those splits. This is moderate though. 506, like I could do better, but this is probably better than my average attempt through industrial. I think I'm about to run out of stamina. Actually, I do want to run out of stamina right here. Best way to do that should to spam jumps. And now we can do that without losing stamina here. Or I guess I can actually just do this again. Not if I run out of stamina there. Now I want to find a spear. Oh, hello scavengers. Hello lizard that is in the worst possible spot. I needed a spear. Oh, don't look over here. Oh, I guess I could have gotten a spear from this too. So faster than what I had to deal with last time, unless the green lizard is right there, which it isn't. Ooh, thank you for leaving right now. So like a green lizard, a leap lizard, and a blue lizard are pretty much the only things that you have to worry about. Taking this route. And I guess that red and a white lizard. Okay, so it's still pretty bad, but that's just how industrial is. Unrealistic to hope for better creature spawns. That was pretty good. I think I fixed... Well, actually, I didn't really make too many major mistakes, so this is just a good run. I'll eat that when exiting the shelter. It might even be worth it to bring 2 fruit, although you would be defenseless against lizards. I do like that this route only requires you to karma cache like once. You sleep normally, karma cache, and then you keep going, which means that you're pretty much always doing something. Unlike some other runs where you have to start with like a few minutes of karma caching every attempt. You know, I never thought about this. You can craft a flashbang with a... Can you? I mean, I don't know the recipes like 100% confidently. I think a blue fruit and a rock makes a flashbang. And if that's correct, it might be worth it to craft one at some point to make dealing with some of these creatures easier. Usually we think of using flashbangs against mirror birds or spiders, but they're actually pretty useful against lizards too. Oh, I thought I had 2 rocks there. Luckily, this lizard isn't particularly motivated, so it's not chasing me very fast. As long as I get into this gate, or it catches up. There you go. That was a great split. Still need to hold on to this fruit. Okay. At least I got the wall jump. If you don't do a wall jump there, you end up just sliding down the wall for quite a while, which loses a lot of time. Since you're not karma caching here, you actually save a decent amount of time by not having to wait for the long shelter animation. So it might, oh, thanks. It might not be that bad compared to just karma caching an extra time. Although it does mean that you have less food for later. Lizards in here. See if a bunch get dropped right in my face this time. I wanted to craft this while crouching, but you can't do that. You have to hold up. They're back. They did land from somewhere. Maybe if I'd gotten here a little bit later, they would have landed right on me. Yeah, get out of here. Probably wasn't even worth it to throw that rock, but I mean, I don't know how like vulture fear works, but I would assume that like injuring a lizard while they're like scared of you would like reinforce their fear of you. So if you just walk on by, they're like, oh, this isn't actually dangerous to me at all, so I don't need to be scared. But if you hit them with a spear or a rock, then they're like, this is like an actual threat, so I should continue to run away. Although it probably doesn't work like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a super simple timer that's like, after some amount of time, no longer be scared of the slow cat. Yep, nothing was right behind you just then, pink lizard. Nothing to worry about at all. Luckily, a regular vulture mask is usually good enough to get through these rooms. Also, I'm very surprised at how often I've been running into vultures in this room. Usually you get through it quickly enough for them to not show up. And also, I spend a lot of time in pipes as Gourmand. I usually don't take pipes as even Survivor, so you'd think that like the vultures wouldn't see me. Also, there's a white lizard there, which hopefully means that a vulture will grab them instead of me if one does show up. Okay, and then there's none at all. That probably just means that I'll run into one on my way to the... I guess there it was. Okay, the real question is, will I see one in this room? Especially if I sit around like that. Oh wow, this is really good. Means that I'll actually get a really good split here. Apparently I was even faster on that last run, but it's still 20 seconds. That was the run that I said felt really good. I guess most of the time was saved for Chimney. Remember that I can do more movement here than normal. I am liking how consistent the vulture grub strategy is working out for me. In previous attempts, I'd spent a lot of time hoping that a vulture would show up and hoping that I could kill it efficiently. I mean, maybe if there's some way to get the mask efficiently without having to Killed the vulture. I just saw that lizard bounce when it grabbed onto that pole. Like it was a spring that latched on. And now stamina matters. Just a spear up there, that's good. I'm going to be more careful about grabbing the second spear for this skip, because I tend to lose time here for some reason. There's a spear right there. I'm just going to grab that one. Not worry about it. Like, here we go. That might be the next best place for a spear to be. Other than right where you want to use it. There's a spear right here that's the best scenario. Second best is like right where you throw the first spear, so you can grab it immediately and head up. Want to have a rock here. Don't even know I'm here. I love how you could just jump all over them. Like, they could just bite you to try to, like, just in case it does a little damage. Like, you would think that if a vulture shows up, they would at least try to fight back a little bit if there's, like, no other hope of escaping. But no, they just run around panicking. Of course, like, I'm not even a vulture. And they have a, like, I'm right next to them. They have an opportunity to figure out that I'm not in fact a vulture, but so it's a basic timer. And it's actually something that'd be kind of a cool concept for a modded character that plays with like creature fear. Kind of like how like there's some animals that have something that just to make them look more dangerous than they are. Like usually if there's like feathers or like hair or like other things that kind of like stick out to make them look bigger than they are to appear threatening. Maybe there's a slugcat. There could be a slugcat like that where you have some ability to do something that would scare away creatures around you. So if there's a lizard that's about to attack, you could do that to scare them away. There's some interesting concept there if anyone wants to make that mod. Or maybe someone else already had the same idea. It's nice to see bat flies up here. There's so much space to fly around. Oh, I don't have a spear. Do I take the risk? I have to at this point. I'm so high up. Never forget the spear, man. There's no place where you can do throw boosts, so there's no point in carrying a rock. If there's a spear, then this run is saved. Nothing up here. There's a spear. Fortunately, I have to walk to the other side of the room, but that's totally fine with me. Whoops. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Just about making it to Pebbles right now. Oh, I forgot to do an extended slide. Probably would have been better to do an extra jump there instead of doing a roll, but it still works out. It's fine that I don't recover stamina there. Okay, I keep losing little bits of time here and there, but we're still ahead overall. So I guess it's fine. I just need to remember, don't mess up the... when I'm on my way to Pebbles. Lost a lot of time there last time. I think I'll carry this. Actually, I'll carry... drop the mask. If I can pick up another rock, that'd be nice. I don't see any rocks, though. Oh, I remember last time I said, don't roll there. Okay. Okay. This still works out. This is still fine. I think you can't pick up things when you're holding down. That's kind of weird, though, but it makes sense because you have to hold down to drop an item. Okay, that was a lot better. Let's see how the rest of this goes. But the most dangerous thing right now is the lizards on an industrial. Because I don't have my mask yet, so they are still aggressive. You know, there's a few spots, especially in Sans campaign, where these shelters or these gates are broken, and you have like direct access to the like heating thing at the bottom. It'd be funny if you could throw food on that and cook them. Although most food that you would want to cook, Saints can't even eat, so maybe it's not really that important. I don't like that I can't see the red lizard. Yeah, I almost grabbed that pole plant, but there's another pole behind the pole plant that I... If you want to go into that pipe, I'm totally fine with it. Or are they just still fighting? Okay, as long as the red lizard doesn't see me. So I don't want to risk doing the strat here. Messed that up too. I don't like that lizard. They're moving way too fast for me to avoid. I think I'm exhausted too. Okay, as long as they don't head this way, I'm good. We're all right. It's probably the scariest part of the run. Because you don't, like, you really do have to just hope that the lizards aren't a problem. I think we're still good. There's another karma flower a few rooms away from this one, but I don't know if it's any faster to grab that instead. You'd have to climb all the way up there. Why are you here? Alright, there goes our time save. I could have risked just like running all the way over there, but that's a king vulture. As long as it flies away, I can make it back. That's like 20 seconds right there. I should stop bringing up the time. Just let's see if we can do a run. I might have been able to just keep going because once you get close enough to a king vulture, they no longer try to use their harpoons. And then maybe if I was moving fast enough, I could have gone past its melee attack. You know, didn't mean to do that. Still fine. Okay, usually I do a roll there, but messed it up. I thought I was tired for a second. Oh yeah, I am. So I might as well eat some food while I'm recovering. Kind of a convenient spot for that. I thought that I might do a roll punch there. Only about 1 second slower than the other run, so that's still fine. Maybe if I could have grabbed a bat fly at some point, I could have made a meal there. Maybe that's a slightly faster way to get food, but let's not worry about that. And I'd have to drop the mask, so it might be too much of a hassle. Since there's not much flat ground in that area. Okay, I tried to do that last time and it also didn't work again this time. So just don't do that. We really are learning today. I think the lizards always fall down that. Like it's 100%. Okay, why does this happen sometimes? Like 80% of the time I just do jump out of the water, but otherwise I just like do a little flop and don't get any height at all. I do like that this route is actually very consistent. Because when I was running rivulets, I felt like I didn't really speedrun, or I didn't really stream any rivulet speedruns. That's because I felt like I might get through a whole stream without ever making it to the second half of the run. Like it was that inconsistent. Especially since I was trying to optimize it a lot more. And maybe that'd also be true for this run if I tried to optimize it. But I think that this run is definitely more consistent than rivulets. Mostly because of the mask. Not that there's a way to get a mask consistently. You can always just like ignore creatures, except for vultures. They're pretty much the biggest threat to your run. If vultures show up in the wrong spots, and I guess lizards can also be a problem before you get a vulture mask. I guess it's still better than like some scenarios where you have to deal with creatures and they're just always in your way, like what would often happen as reveal it. Okay, I could do that better. Pretty much exactly the same. I keep losing like 1 second here and like 2 seconds here, 5 seconds there. But like, there's enough of like, I'm not making the same major mistakes as last time, so I'm still ahead. And anything is like being slightly ahead here is still good, because as long as I can make it all the way through the whole run, it's an improvement. Because I did die at the end there, even though I did end the splits for the sake of having a good comparison. Oh, come on. I thought I ate enough earlier to not have to eat as much fruit, but I guess I was wrong. And of course, the filtration thing shows up at the bottom of the screen so that you can actually see how much food you've eaten. Let's hope the rest of this run goes well. Also, I forgot again. Get the lantern. At least I remembered now, but it would have been faster if I remembered in the gate. But this gives me a chance to fix another major mistake I made last time, which is falling down into the mole pit. I have no idea how I survived that. I mean, even with the light, there's a chance I still mess up, but it's greatly reduced now that I can actually see where to land. And there we go. That's all I had to do last time. And these moles can be a problem if they decide to go into these tunnels. No, I'm still going. It wasn't that long after the shelter. Let's just keep going, okay? That's like a decent time loss, but still better if I can finish the run. That sucks though. I saw the pipe flashing. Maybe I would have made it if I just kept going, but I didn't know if it was just like the pipe being weird or like bat flies, or if it was really a mole lizard. It's kind of hard to tell because they don't make the pipe flash any color. It's just like it makes it darker, and pipes just kind of do that naturally. They flicker a little bit sometimes, so I need to pay more attention to if the pipe is specifically getting darker. Now is my chance to get through. That's all I had to do. Once again, fixing one mistake for just to make another. There's still a chance that I could have been released from that mole lizard, but I didn't want to leave the mask behind. Oh, also I can get through here faster if the centipede is gone. Still haven't seen the other side of the screen, and it's right there. But that actually looks like a smaller centipede than normal, so I think I can still just sneak by it. Okay, we're good. I think that was the caramel lizard that's usually in this stream, so it's not going to be in the way. Oh, as long as I don't get grabbed by the worm grass. It's still grabbing me. It's still dragging me forward. Okay, I think that there might have been a chance that I actually died to that worm grass. Oh, you got lucky, scavenger. Still stole a spear. I mean, that's good that I had a spear there. Oh, thank you, jetfish. As long as I can move forward enough to get out of their reach. Okay. Recover here. We're good. Actually, that didn't take very long to recover. Do you not lose that much stamina when you're swimming? Why did they try to grab me? Oh, this might be dangerous because I need to drop the vulture mask here. No, we're good. They're too slow. That is a sizable centipede, though. Sort of. And now they don't exist. Did I come out of that pipe earlier than the centipede did, even though I entered later? I mean, that's just because it takes a while for centipedes to actually enter a pipe, because they have to wait for the rest of their body segments to catch up. Like, that was kind of a weird interaction there. Ah, that's large. Are they dead? No. The thing is that if they go through the pipe, they're still dangerous to me. I wanted to grab onto the ceiling. Okay, wow, that felt lucky. Did they just not hear me at all? But now I'm losing time again. That's too far. So there's like a full like minute of time saves in like a perfect run compared to this run. There's like a full minute. Every little second, every few seconds that I lose, all can be added up to save a full minute. But that's hoping for a perfect run. Someone else can go for that minute, but I'm going to keep going forward with this run and hopefully not die to extend it. I forgot to craft the sport puff. I remember I was thinking that I need to remember that, and then I forgot. So I guess if I find a mushroom, I don't know if there's any mushrooms on the way there to craft a spore puff. And I'm not very familiar with the crafting recipes, but maybe if there's something else that I can use to craft one, like maybe gooey ducks. If anyone looks right now, is there a crafting recipe with gooey ducks that can make a spore puff? I would love to know. I didn't want to grab onto the spider. I might not run into many more gooey ducks though. Oh, well, there's some right here. Hopefully this drop bug is not a problem. They just totally ignore you before they found a spot to drop from. They are drop bugs. They don't drop, then they see no. Also, I guess, you know what? Here's these 12 seconds saved. Or if I don't mess this jump up. So this is an important moment. Nice. Okay, we got those 12 seconds back, or 13, or 14. Okay, maybe not, but a decent amount of it saved. It just had to be done. Not even dead. See? Oh, wow. Come on. Okay. Got a little too close, that guy. Usually I don't see that centipede, but they do exist, so something to worry about. I don't like the lag spikes here. They're messing up with my timing. Okay, I felt pretty confident with that split, though, overall, so. Just remembered I have a mask on. But why am I tired? Wow. Okay, I still grabbed onto the pole and got a decent speed boost, but I thought that yeek just lost me time by slowing me down there. Yeah, but they always do that, where they try to grab onto the grapple worm. Just roll across this room, don't bother with anything else. It is really nice to know that you actually gain stamina when climbing poles. So you know that they're kind of an opportunity. Well, okay, not what I think it's because I was jumping around on the poles, but. Exhausted. This is the room that you want to roll across. Oh, speed boost. Sometimes you get time saves in the most unexpected places. Oh, mushrooms. Okay, we don't need to craft a spore puff earlier in the round. We can just craft it right here. Although this is kind of I'm not doing it the fastest way I could. But if it means actually finishing the run by getting past the centipede at the end, then I think it's worth it. And of course, there's a mushroom over here, so could have done that faster if I brought the ball. Okay, it's kind of hard. It's messy either way because you have to drop both of your items, and the grapple worm might wander away. So as long as you don't drop one of the ingredients into a hole, then probably going to be fine. And I need also remember from last time I need to leave the water before recovering. Sorry about that. I fear that one day I'm going to get here exactly at the time where the monster kelp comes out. And it's going to kill me and end the run. I'm also kind of wondering how much longer I'm even going to attempt this category. If I finish this run, I might be happy enough with it to just never do this again. So there are other characters I still would like to play. I was thinking this might be the part of the run where I drop the grapple worm. Yeah, right here. I mean, it's going to drown anyways, so I don't have to try to drop it. Yep, there it goes. Once it dies, you just automatically drop it, which is kind of convenient. It's also maybe kind of confusing, since if you don't know that that's how it works, then you might just wonder why you dropped your grapple worm and try to fix it, but in the end, it's dead. You can't do anything about it. It's not the most obvious creature that It's not easiest to tell when it's dead. So I can't actually see. There they are. That actually kind of looked like a small centipede. Not one capable of ending a speedrun. Probably would have been able to get past it anyway, but there's a random chance that it's a lot bigger than that, so there was still danger. And it is now raining. I don't know if the creatures like don't like being in the rain. Maybe that centipede was trying to run away, kind of like they do at the end of the cycle. You know, let's bring this eek with us. Actually, wow, this movement is very fast for being out of stamina, so maybe it is worth it to bring one. That centipede though. Oh, that kelp. Oh wow, it all worked out in the end. Exactly what I was talking about earlier is what happened to that centipede just now. Oh man, but these tunnels are really hard to climb through. Hello? It literally just goes sideways. Is that hard? I hope that's not a large centipede. It might be large enough to be dangerous. Okay. Surely it's dead now. I hit him twice. Also, it says that I'm losing time. I'm not losing time at all because my last splits were. I just recorded those because I wanted to have splits to compare against, so you have to finish the run. I did not finish the last run that I did, and that split does not exist. It is only for the sake of actually having something to compare against. I thought that I waited long enough for it to not be a good time, but I guess the centipede's kind of slowed me down enough here that it wasn't great. Something feels faster though. To use a yeet gear. I think I want to drop it though. So yeah, there it is. Time ends. Okay, so my goal was a low 40 and I got a high 40, so not like too happy about that. But also the run felt like it was pretty fast, right? Maybe my like low 40 goal is like unachievable. Because I'm comparing it against a run with no creatures at all. And that removes like there's so many creatures that you have to deal with that expecting a perfect run to have no creatures at all is completely unrealistic. Because that's what I did as Rivulets, you know? Usually you're so good at avoiding creatures that you might as well like you can expect the possibility of a perfect run where no creatures exist at all. So I did runs where I practiced without any creatures at all, and I got a time for Rivulets. I got a time of like 29:30 or 40 or something like that. But then when I did an actual run, I got a time better than that. So like an actual time that I could get was comparable to the time with no creatures, because an ideal run, creatures don't slow you down at all, and that's actually achievable. But as Gourmand, that's not possible. And you actually spend quite a lot of time going out of your way to get a Vulture Mask, just to make the rest of the run actually possible, because there's no way you're just running through all the lizards in Chimney Canopy. So maybe I should be happy with this run, expecting low 40. Like low 40s is like completely unrealistic. Because also remember that this route like is even slower than just getting a Vulture Mask from Vulture, because I have to craft a Vulture Mask twice. I don't have it for the start of Industrial on my way back after Pebbles. And I can't Karma Cache as long in Industrial, right? So there's like a lot of things that make it slower just to get a Vulture Mask consistently. So in a super ideal run, where a Vulture shows up and you use a single spear to get a mask, and you can run past it easily, that run might actually be able to achieve low 40s, because there's also like a full, remember what I said earlier, there's a full minute of optimizations to be made after this. Because I haven't lost time making my way to Outer Expanse, like 30 seconds there, so like a minute to like a minute, maybe even 2 minutes, if everything is really perfected. So there's still so much to improve here, but it's also like those kind of improvements still require even more risky strategies. I don't think I want to risk that. So yeah, I think I'm fine with this, honestly. I could do more runs. Maybe I might do more runs in the future if I don't know what else to do. But for the sake of for my goal of getting a decent run, I think this is fine. You know, someone else can optimize this by those few minutes that I was talking about. But this is good. You know, I will end the stream here, and next time we're going to head over to Artificer. That's going to be my goal. Maybe for this save file, I'm gonna like leave these times here. So I'll also actually 26. So I'm looking at the real time up here from my splits here, but we actually use in-game time to time it. So this is actually a 46, which I mean, if it makes you feel better, I guess. Every time you karma cache, you lose about 30 seconds of real time. So there's a minute lost there, but that doesn't really count. And anyone else who uses karma caching strategies will also. Okay, although I guess I didn't really think about this. That kind of makes an inconsistency between different strategies. You know, the more you karma cache, the more time you technically save. But so maybe we'll have to like actually look at the amount of time that you karma cache and adjust accordingly. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.